Hello YouTube, Mr. Beam is here with another video from Revit Logic YouTube channel. In this video we are going to create a 2D detailed item line-based family for architectural pattern. Let me give you some context. So we have a precast wall that it has these architectural patterns. Okay, they are in 200 millimeter wide. The first one could be 180 or 200 or maybe even 0 from the corner, and the distance between these patterns are 200, or we can just have a parameter for it. So in order to create that one, not the 3D, just the 2D one, we have to use array. So let me back to in my Revit. So it should be something like this. Okay. So in order to do that, let's go first to create a new family, and we are going to create as a metric detail item. So here first I'm just going to create one single pattern or groove. First I'm going to create reference planes. What I done was clicking on this one and creating similar by typing CS, or you can just type RP for reference. So one reference plane here, and one here, and one there. Then I'm going to type DI for dimension, picking this line to this line, then picking anywhere else, picking this, that, and picking there. Then I'm going to make them equal. Then picking this and picking that and leave it there. So this one is actually fixed because it should be 67.5. Ignore this 10 mm nominal for now. We just want to create a perfectly rectangular pattern. So I'm clicking on this reference plane and then clicking on this dimension, make it 67.5, and I will lock it. This one shows that 68 because it doesn't have any decimal, but the value is 67.5. You can even go to the edit type, and then you can go to the primary units, and here you can use it with the 1 decimal place. Click on OK and click on OK. Then that's the actual number. So this parameter, this dimension, I'm going to create a new parameter for it. I will choose it as a type. I will call it L, which is length. Then on properties, on family types, this L by default is 200. Then we just need to create a field region. So I'm going to create a rectangular from that intersection to this intersection. Then I'm going to lock all the 4 corners and hitting on finish edit type. So just one thing, that this pattern should not look like a concrete. So we are going to on edit type. So in the drawing it was actually brick. So you can just use it as a solid fill, and the color could be just dark gray. But I'm going to make that one as a duplicate. I will call it solid gray. And hitting OK, and that's our pattern. All good. So I'm going to save this one as pattern. So I will just call it architectural pattern AP. I will just save it, but I will just keep it here. Then we are going to the new and family. because the family we are going to create should be line based. So we have to go to metric detail item line base. It's just easier to use. That's the length of the line. Then we are going back to the AP one and load into projects, which is that family 2, which is the one that we just created. Now I have that family here. I will just choose somewhere here. So if I go to my properties family type, I can't find where is L. So you have to assign the parameter. So I'm going to click on this one. Then on edit type, that L is there. I can change this one here. But then whenever I'm loading to the Revit, you can't change it. So you have to go to this end, and here there is an associate family parameter. You're clicking on that one. There's nothing here. That length is actually length of the line. So you have to create a new one, a new parameter, and we'll call it as an instance. So I will call it L here also. I'm clicking on OK, and clicking on OK, and clicking on OK. If I back to the properties, you will find the L there. If I change this one to 300, this will also change. So now I'm going to create some new references. One reference here, one reference here. I'm typing DI for dimension, and I'm picking this line and that line. I want to call this one P1, and the reason is that will define the distance, the distance of the first pattern. So sometimes this may be 0, sometimes this may be 200. Okay. So here again, I'm going to create a parameter. I will call it instance. I will call it P1. So if we back to here and set the P1 as a 200, you will see that that will move, but the pattern will not move because we have to align the pattern with that line. So I'm typing AL for align. Anyway, you can find all whatever you need here. So that one was this one, AL pattern, move with MV and blah blah blah. Okay. So I'm first picking this line and aligning that line with that, and I'm then locking. You want to test it, hit the escape, select this one and move it. You will see that that one also move with it. So if I set P0, which is here, that means always sketch the pattern from the beginning of the line. But sometimes it's maybe 200. We don't know. Let me tell you why this happens. Because for some panels, the P1 is always 0. But for other panels, the P1 could be 200. Okay, so for example, the next panel here, the P1 is not 0, the P1 is 200 because there is a gap, there is a groove. There is a gap, there is a groove. So that gap is P1. Okay? So let's continue. So where I'm going to put this one somewhere there, and I'm just going to have, so we need to also have a parameter for the distance. What else I have to do is creating another reference plane, which is at the center of this pattern. So I'm going to align that one with the center of pattern, and I'm just going to lock it. Then dimensioning from this line to this line. So that one, I'm going to call it L asterisk, and we know that the L asterisk is always equal to L divided by 2, the location of this reference plane. And then typing di from this line to this line, I will call this one as a parameter which is total center to center. I'm hitting on OK. Then I'm going to the properties again. So how much is this one? This one is actually half of L plus half of L plus a parameter called distance. So that distance still is not there. So in that case, I have to, for now, disregard this formula. I have to hit OK. What I'm going to do is creating another parameter here as an instance, and let's call it distance. And distance would be the distance between the two patterns, which is typically 200. Okay, so I will have a distance here, 200. So then the total center to center, let me show you how it works. So imagine that we have another one. I'm just copying this one here. I'm looking for center to center. Center to center is half a L and half a L plus a distance. Okay, so I'm going back here. Half a L, which is L, plus distance. So in that case, total center to center is 400. But I don't need to have this one for now. Okay. Then I'm going to click on my pattern, typing AR for array over here. And I'm choosing the second. For now, I will just set the number as a 5. Then I'm picking from the center to that line. Okay? But pay attention on this one. If I click on this one and I nudge it with my arrow keys, see the distances are getting higher? So I have to align this one with this line. So I'm typing AL, picking this line, and then picking this line, and I'm then lock it. So if I move this one, that will move. Okay? This center to center will control it. So now the problem is, this is the end of the line-based family. So I don't want to see this and that. What is the number n? The number n is, so we have to have another formula for the number n. But we have to first create number n. Number n would be an instance. I will call it n, and I will choose the type of the data as integer, and I'm clicking on OK. So we want to know that from this point to the end, how many L plus distance we have. So we have to go here. We have to type length which is length of the line, deducted by P1 parameter, which is case sensitive, deducted by L, 1P1, and one whole L. Okay. Then how many are in this distance? How many L plus distance are in? If I hit the apply, it will say 3. Okay. For now, we'll hit OK. Then I'm clicking on one of these. There is a 5 here. So I can click on that one. I can click actually on under the numbers. And there is a label here. And I will choose as N3. Okay. So let's change this one. See, whenever I'm increasing the length, that one also increases. But there is a problem. I think there should be also another pattern here. So we have to add to that N 1. Okay? But not 1 like that. You have to add to this. So I will just put these ones in parentheses. That's what I want. I don't care about the leftover, but that's what I want. So there is only one problem. Whenever this L is 1480, it still shows one pattern here. That's not what I want. Let me show you something else. Whenever this is 227, if I hit apply, see what happens. So whenever this line, our line is up to there, it still shows another one. So solution to this is you're going back to the properties, and instead of adding 1, you adding 0, 9, and hit the apply. So that one will disappear. So if I sketch up to here, still you can see that there is a problem here. But I don't care because none of my panels are bigger than 1480. So I mostly care about 1480 and whatever is less than 1480. Okay. Up to now, it just perfectly works for me. Okay. Then you have to just save it and just load it to your project. I already have the family here, and I'm going to show you how that one works. But before showing that one, let's also add something else. If I go on the view, not on the view, on the create tab, there is a control. So I want also to have a double vertical. Okay, so it will just create a, whenever you're creating this one, so you can just flip it. So let's back to the project. I already created this one. I call it architectural pattern line-based type 1, and that flipping button is also there. So if I want to sketch it, I will just click one of these and just typing CS for create similar. I will pick this line, then picking that line, so I have to just flip it, and then I'm going to pick this line, and then to the end. Done. And that's our architectural panel. It's just so easy, right? So in this case, you can see that the next panel, actually the P1 should be 0. And also for this one, P1 should be 0. So that's actually what we are looking for. Okay. Alrighty. Thank you so much for watching this video. It will help me if you support me and like this video, and also subscribe to the channel for new videos. And see you next time. For now, bye bye.